Hey everybody, welcome to Forge the Narrative. This is our Monday night live webcast. We do this every Monday night. I got a bunch of people in the queue join us. Really nice to see everybody. I'm joined tonight by maybe.
Hey, what's going on,
being a little
guys?
choppy. And we got Kenny Boucher and Rob Bear.
What's up, players?
Yo, guys.
Yeah, man, it's been an interesting weekend so far. You know, first full weekend having this big Imperial Armor 13 in our hands, plotting to plan out some army list. I did some hobbying last night, painting on a Warhound Titan, painting on a Storm Raven. You know, a little bit here and there. Got my spawn finished up. I'm pretty happy with.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I love a spawn.
Multiple spawns.
Well, I really don't like just out of the box spawn kits. Yeah, I feel like they're fun and they come with a ton of bits. Like it is a great kit to scavenge from, but I don't like the actual bodies that the spawn come with.
You know what they look like to me? They look like how Slanesh spawns should look to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't have like feel of all, like they're real neutral. So like I feel you.
They're a little weedy. Yeah, I guess I think is the way of describing it. Is they're just a little bit weedy.
There we go. Well, as Chris Gardner just put out, Chris Morgan just put out. Let's do a roll call real quick. We got Lou in the house, Chris Gardner, Stoner Steve, Gary, obviously Christopher Morgan, Ricky, Aaron, our boy Jake Shear. What's going on, everybody? Got a full house tonight.
Yo.
Dan Reeves.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Past that, you know, I'd use River Trolls, which I've talked about. I use River Trolls with the spawn bits, and I'm using the mutants from the War Shrine to round out probably 2 spawn units. Again, I'm putting off making them because I didn't have all the bits in hand that I wanted, and I happened to just kind of luck into some River Trolls. So I'm really excited about getting them going.
Speaking of hobbying, actually, I'm going to be with the good friend and family of the show, Luke. I'll be there with him for about 4 hours tomorrow night. We're going to bang out finish doing all the NIDs, touching up some things, and finishing up these Legion for 11th Company. 11th Company GT coming up. Going to bust out 3, potentially 4 squads of Legion. Some Kami Grab and multi-meltas.
Juice, I heard you had some hobbying pictures of Sky Shield.
I do, actually. There's a new professional Sky Shield coming out.
So you thinking the Kami Grab is worth it on the Legion of the Damned, Sergeant? Because I'm not sure that it is.
Yeah, so for what I need, it feels the perfect role. So I need to be able to deal with Centurions and Riptides, Wraith Knights, and that aspect of it. Now the Melta-Guns and things like that and the multi-meltas are for the Night Titans to threaten multiple angles, but I don't have any AP2 shooting in my army really. So that's where the grab comes in.
What do you get? 3 shots from him? So
yeah.
I can see that argument, like for what you're saying, and I can see that to just snag up like 5 dice, right?
Yeah, potential. That's exactly what it is I want to be able to throw 5 dice at a Centurion unit, 5 dice at a Riptide, you know, things like that. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I don't roll, you know, on turn 2, I get all 3 squads in. Now I'm rolling 15 dice at the unit.
I mean, it's been forever since I've even built a Tyranid unit, or Tyranid army, so you might indeed have the points that makes it fit better. It just seems like those end up being overkill and not point efficient in the armies that I built.
It makes sense because like it's really easy to think about Legion of the Damned squads as Melta-Guns to kill tanks.
Mm-hmm.
That's like whenever I think of one, that's what I think of. But Juice is saying that's not what necessarily he needs.
No, that's what, because I have no problem killing tanks. I got Haywire Flame templates. I've got Haywire missiles. I got Strength 8 Vector Strikes. I got a bunch of Strength 6 shooting. Like tanks have never been an issue. It's those, to be honest, Centurions. 3 units. Yep.
I'd like to make a statement. There's several concerned listeners asking about my face. I have a tequila sunburn. It turns out that I got into a little too much tequila earlier today, and I'm still feeling the effects of it. So don't worry.
Good times.
You know, there's glutens in that.
There might be, you know, but at this point, I'm all in. So.
Chris is asking where he can find some Plenty the Elder when he's down near Myrtle Beach. I'm not sure they got that kind of brand around there.
He's looking for what? I'm sorry?
a certain brand of alcohol, Pliny the Elder.
Oh,
I've never heard
that
of that.
sounds
What
way
is
too
that?
classy for.
If you want his nephew,
Yeah, I'm
Scotch
saying.
de Brown.
Scotch de Brown. All right, look, guys, I can't hold it anymore. I was hoping somebody else would bring it up so I didn't have to seem a little cliche, but for real, NIDS on the horizon?
Yeah, where did that come from?
Hey, Juice, I hate to break it to you, nobody cares.
No, for real.
Wow.
People care.
That's
I'm
harsh.
kidding, I'm kidding,
I
I'm
am
kidding.
people, and I care.
I care, Juice. I care.
Man, I know I'm a Blood Angels fan too. You know that, and I know that we're stealing some of the thunder right now because there isn't any BA talk. But darn, I cannot be. Robbie B called me at 7:30 this morning as I'm in my kitchen getting ready for the day, and he's like, blew my mind. It's so out of the blue. Didn't even know.
On that ability that does on vehicles, makes people take leaderships on 3D6, talking about, well, they have to be in Shadows of Warp range, and who's ever going to be in Shadows of Warp range? The guy you dump a Moloch next to. That's who's going to be in Shadows of Warp range.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on. Like, this model is the new version, in my opinion, of the Doom of Malantai. This is, I mean, if you look at his stats, if you look at what it is, and it's even coming from the elite choice.
Yeah, it's almost like they did that on purpose, just to free up space.
I'm disappointed with the rule. I don't think it's that good. It's a level 2 focus Witchfire. It's like, but everyone's like, you can do it 3 times. It's like, so what is it, like 10 dice? 10 psychic dice?
Here's how you do it, though. But there is a problem with it. It's specific. Well, I don't know if it specifically says, but what I've read so far says that a unit can't be the target of this power more than once. So even if you have 2 of them, you can't target the same unit twice. From how I'm reading it, and again, I could be wrong about that, but you just it's something people have to deal with. Like, they can't not try to deny it. So if you got something else you want to do, you're like, take 3d6 leadership test. Take 3d6 leadership test.
But it's not. But it doesn't do the difference in wounds. It only does D3 wounds. It's not that good.
It does.
I mean, remember, guys, these are all rumors. Like, we don't know for sure. We don't know.
There's a couple things that I'd like to point out. It's like, all right, are we talking this is a 160-point monstrous creature? Then okay, word. I'm not with that. But if we're saying that we can get for an elite choice, because we've already got a 160-point elite choice monstrous creature that nobody uses. So,
I think it's in the 160-ish range, Juice.
Yeah, so I mean, if that is true, you're right. I don't think I can get behind it.
And the problem is it's focused Witchfire. That means you got to get 3 passes on a level 2 power. It's like, and it only can, and by the rumor wounds, like, once it goes off, and it ignores saves and cover saves, but it's like, man, I just don't see, like, okay, so all 12 of your psychic dice are going to be devoted to trying to make this thing go off 3 times, and if you're trying, I mean, yeah, and it might work, it might not, but how many times are you going to hit a psyker who has 2 wounds and you're going to roll a 1? Yeah, you took 1 wound. That sucked.
It's probably not going to be 2 or 1 wound, though, with 3d6 within Shadows of the Wolf range.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the rumors say when you fail your leadership check, you take D3 wounds. That's what it's saying. It's not saying you fail your leadership check.
Yeah, there's a lot that has to go into this. And I'm not saying it's awesome, but it's like a good pair with one of the types of lists that we endorse with the Tyranids.
I think that it's just, I feel like it's a Nova power. Like, if it's reported as a focus Witchfire, that seems horrible. If it's a Nova, I'm completely on board with this power.
Yeah, I feel, and I think you're right. I think you're onto something. That's what I was going to go with. I think that it's going to be a Nova, just like the Doom of Malantai, but maybe if it is shot as a focus Witchfire, if it has some ability to do some sniping out or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Like, it does the thing have wings? Does it have deep strike? Like, is it moving 12 inches? Is it moving 6 inches? Like, there's a lot of stuff.
It's what we're kind of hearing.
Yep, 12 wounds, infiltrate, stealth, and shroud. That's what I see. That's what I'm looking at.
12 wounds?
Yeah, 12 wounds, infiltrate, stealth, shroud.
That sounds like a typo to me, but whatever.
3d6 assault.
It does seem like a typo there.
A 3d6 assault, ignore cover.
Very balanced.
What telling tales out of school?
What the Tyranids need is they need a Biomancy caddy, not another bunch of janky.
They really do. If they want these things to be the terror that the all-devouring beast, Again, and I'm not Juice. I'm not saying they're not competitive.
No, 100%.
You know that they are, and it is. I'm not sure this is the answer. I think that though it might pull off some interesting, fun combos.
Yeah,
I can turn it into a Demon Prince. That's right, I said it.
I want to shout out to Jake Shear. Jake Shear's like, I don't know anything about Tyranids. Kind of like what we said at the beginning of this segment. Nobody cares about Tyranids.
All I'm saying is, Sean Brown, BC, we all care about Nids.
I care.
That's right.
Me and Juice care. We'll hold on.
We had a question coming in from the internet. Wants to know what happens if the blue scribes use possession. It says the blue scribes technically isn't a psyker according to this question. What happens?
There must be. I feel like there might be an FAQ on it that I don't know anything about.
Rob, can you kind of start to put the work on that while we jump on something else? Because I want to give a congratulations to Chris Morgan. Says he went to his first GT, took 7th overall with Blood Angels and Night Allies.
Ooh,
says the best game moment was his assault sergeant killing a Stompa with a Melt-A-Bomb. And then being the only survivor when it crashed on him. He is getting a promotion. That is your next captain.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Morgan, best 40K player I know.
That's awesome. I think that's really cool. Stompa's no joke. So, I mean, congratulations, especially placing so highly. You know, it's difficult. It's really difficult to keep focus through a whole tournament weekend when it's your first big tournament like that, big multi-day tournament.
Hey, Chris, let us know what you played, man. Let us know what you took from the BA side.
He gave us a list in the chat, and I got to it late. He asked for some advice and apparently did not need it. So
there you go. Too easy.
Yep. Again, we got to it late, and I apologize.
BC, I knew you cared about Nids.
Yeah. See. Don't listen to them.
So many questions in here, man.
Yep.
So Aaron ran an X-Wing tournament. Says thanks for all the advice, man. Man, thank you for holding it down out there. Some competitive gaming scene. We're gonna be playing some X-Wing, I think, before too much longer. We got the ships. Pew pew.
We just the Decimator and the Outrider just went on pre-order at FFG for retailers. They should be coming out towards the end of November.
Those are cool ships.
Yeah, the Outrider's pretty dope. It has a lot of tricks.
Yeah, I'm digging on some of these new things.
Solo Falcon checking it. You mind?
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh, sorry.
No word. I was just saying Stoner Steve's talking about this snowing up in Alberta today. I just wanted to mention that's what you get for living in Canada.
I thought it always snowed there. And you want to remember when we all had metal spawn. Yeah, I mean, I remember when spawn were, basically the single model with a big long neck. I mean, I think he could move his arms around, but.
Dan Reeves is saying.
IRL.
What's up, Ricky?
I'm lagging right now a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm talking over people. But Dan Reeves is saying, where's my new Bloodthirster kit at?
Well, I mean, good news coming in stuff from Fantasy Battle. Like, I don't think we're going to see another Chaos release. So that whole 4 Horsemen. But, I've often thought about taking the Great Horn Rat from Forge World and turning that into a Bloodthirster. So if we get anything very similar to a Great Horn Rat coming through for this when they do the Skaven.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
I mean,
that's going to be the big kit.
That might be your Bloodthirster in a box ready to go.
Well, imagine just judging by all the Nagash stuff and the Nurgle Glockin stuff, what they can do for Demon Princes. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah, if we see, I mean, they're pretty. I'm sure they've sold a ton of Demon Princes already, but I would love to see some new ones. I agree with you. I don't think we're going to see one in this release.
Or the Greater Demons, rather, but I think they'll be really good looking, really, really good looking.
So
I get a call from David about once a week now about how many Demon Princes he's going to convert off all these new Nurgle models.
Yep.
So
man, that Glockin model is no joke. It's got 2 characters that ride on top of him, and they're both cool. Like I just want the one sorcerer. I did not even recognize that there was a sorcerer on his face. Like the first sorcerer was there. I only saw the guy on the back and the big Glockin model. Like, I really want that sorcerer. I'll make him something I don't even know. But he's a cool figure. I did not even notice looking at the map.
Fresh.
Jason Gardner.
Yeah, James Garner's wanting to know. He's like, look, he's at work again. He said he ain't playing. He doesn't care if he's at work or not. He's tuning in. He wants to know what's a good fluff ally for a Terminator heavy Grey Knight army list. He was thinking of a couple Razorbacks with Jericho/Psychers in it, but what's the deal with the Death Watch?
Why don't you just go Sisters? Sisters is fluffy.
Yeah. Or
and Living Saint will let your Terminator sit and run.
Death Watch is very cool, but it's no longer supported by the rules. In 3rd edition, there was a chapter approved article that allowed you to take Death Watch, and they got upgrades, like they got heavy bolters that you could assault with, they had suspensions and stuff like that. Unfortunately, they're just not supported by the rules anymore. But if you wanted to do it, there's no reason you can't model them that way. And like Legion of the Damned would make an amazing like Death Watch, because they got the special ammunition is what Death Watch had. Things like Stern Guard, if you want to go regular Marines, take Pedro, and that kind of stuff. That would make really good Death Watch counts as.
That seems like a good move. I want to shout out to Justin Troop, who's roll calling a couple of pimps. Thanks for watching.
And Justin Troop is on the East Coast now, everybody.
Yeah, he says he's right down the street. He actually had passed through my hometown.
Yeah, dude, you should have hit me up when you were coming through Atlanta.
So, Jake Shear wants to know, important question, now that the AI, or IA, 13 is out, would you take a Chaos Warhound in a competitive event at 1850 or 2K? Is it worth it?
It's pretty much the same as the one in the Apocalypse book, though, right?
What's the question again?
Would you take a Warhound, Chaos Warhound Titan at an 1850 or 2K event? My answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we do kind of go heavy on the top end, or the beef end of the list. If that's your jam, then yes, Turbo Laser and Plasma Cannon.
Call it the fist side of the list.
Yep.
I think the best build for them currently is the Turbo Laser and the Mega Gatler, because the Mega Gatler can at least take on flyers.
Yeah, it doesn't get you locked in. I agree with you on that.
That's fair. That's a good point, Rob.
Man, or you could go to Plasma Destructor, because the one mode of fire is a 10-inch template now.
Yeah, that's actually what had me on the Plasma Destructor, was that.
Yeah, that thing's pretty dope.
David's calling out, Paul. See, I put David up in the queue. David says, Paul, if you want a Bloodthirster, I can make you one.
Oh, nice. I like the sound of that. I don't have currently a Bloodthirster. I got a bunch of Demon and Greater Demons I got all specced out already. But no.
I don't currently run an army list that uses Bloodthirsters. But
I was getting ready to say, I was talking to Paul on the phone the other day, and he was like, man, I really want to start spawning a bunch of Bloodthirsters.
Yeah, I do.
I saw that Bloodthirster you had on your counter there, the old metal one that's only like 1.5 inches tall.
Oh, yeah, actually, I got 2 Bloodthirsters. Check this. This is the one I was talking about on the podcast. This is from that Wargamma.
Oh, yeah, look at them.
Like, check the back.
Dude. Boobs, will you...
I don't know if we can show this on camera.
That's literally what I look like without my shirt on.
Yeah, we saw it on the Mechanicon broadcast.
You took your shirt off on the Mechanicon webcast?
Yeah, I'm not gonna rule out taking my shirt off. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, hey, he called. He's like, man, he said you can't be the only one with your shirt off.
Yeah.
I agree. But it's got this. The tentacles aren't on this head, but this is where all the Cthulhu tentacles attach, and that's why this model. One of the many reasons this model is awesome. So, but you can see, I don't know if I can get a base, but it's on a larger base. So this is very similar to what the Scabathrax base would be.
Beast mode. I want to shout out Lewis F. Lewis has been helping me out with a lot of stuff lately, and thanks for watching. And yes, we did see the new Tyranid models. You must have been coming in late. We love them.
Yes. So,
Lewis has been holding it down.
Oh man, yeah, good times. And Chris clarified. It says that it's an IPA from Russian River Brewing. Yeah, craft beer. I'm a big fan of craft beer. Also, I'm not familiar with that one. But down here we got breweries all over the place. I have to imagine it's all over the South.
Is Chris Gardner the chef? Is he the guy who's the chef?
I don't know.
I feel like I saw him on Twitter and he was cooking a bunch of food. Up with that, Chris. Are you a chef?
So Shane Smith here he's like been wanting to know. He's been trying to make a Space Wolf list for LVO. Hope to see you at LVO. I know I'll be there. Robbie B is thinking about going as well. Just bought my ticket and booked my room. Literally can buy whatever is needed. We try to keep the list building to the Facebook page, but we will try to bring up some lists.
Let me ask you a question for everybody here on the show, anyway, or anybody listening too. The more we talked about it, I'm actually becoming kind of a fan of like the Fang or whatever it is.
Of the what? Say
like
that
the
again.
4 Space Wolf flyers.
Yeah, that's. I've been on it since day one, and it is so good.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's actually pretty good with a Calexicin one, because this cannon, the frost cannon or whatever, it kills lots of stuff.
Stuff dead, DED dead.
And when you're putting that many, it takes a strength test for every wound. Things take it for every it suffers. So you just have to get slightly lucky, and your opponent has to be slightly unlucky to not pick up whole models every turn. Monstrous creatures, Wraith Knights.
Yeah, we'll just put it to you this way. Whenever I test play with my butts, every time he points that he'll do it to me. He'll shoot the whole unit at a flyer, the one cannon, the frost cannon at another flyer, and I have to jink on both of them. There's no way. I'm taking the chance that I'm going to fail a strength check and just die.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's very realistic that if he wanted to, he can burn down at least 2 big things a turn just with those four flyers.
Yeah, and to go even more, everybody gets sucked into the multi-meltas. Well, with his list, we have split it in half. With his 4 flyers, he's got 2 twin-link multi-meltas, and he ones, and then he has 2 twin-linked heavy bolter ones that put down a lot of strength 5 AP4 shooting.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you're running 4 in that list, right?
If you've got that many, though, you can get variety. If you had 3 or under, I'd say multi-meltas all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I mean, it's good times.
Solo Falcon compares Star Trek's The Borg to Tyranids and Fluff, and that they do not meet that standard currently in the rules.
Yes, we are not the Borg.
I assume he's talking about the Star Trek Attack Wing.
What?
No, he's making a link. He's like, Tyranids are so dangerous in Fluff. They're like the Borg.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are the devouring monster that just cannot be stopped. The Tyranids show up in your universe or your galaxy or whatever, and
Captain Picard becomes a Borg and everything, and then everyone dies. Like, that does not happen in the game of 40K, but it happens in the stories.
And Solo Falcon, I've always thought this flyer is good, but I wasn't sure that running all of them in your list was going to be a great thing. But now I'm thinking the more the better, especially like in a Forge World environment. And I'm not saying that that's what this guy should do with the Space Wolf list. I don't know what kind of figures he's got. I ain't saying going out and get yourself. Don't go 400 deep into flyers for one event. I'm just saying that I think there may be a list there.
Here for this Blue Scribes conundrum, possibly.
Oh, you got an answer?
Well, you're supposed to be a psyker when you sacrifice for the possession for the greater demon.
Mm-hmm.
But it's saying in the blue scribes, it just says can automatically manifest that power. So he's a de facto psyker, as far as I can tell, for the definition of the word, and the definition of what they say is psyker is on page. I just lost it in the psychic section, the very first paragraph.
So does it give any wording that he counts as a psyker?
He definitely does not count as a psyker, like, in any way. It says he can't. Let's just read it.
Yeah. So what does possession say when you cast the power?
As we're looking that up, Chris Gardner is a chef. He is a chef in bacon-wrapped food production. You're a man after my own heart.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's nice.
And Chris Morgan says we're giving too much credit, but no, we're not at all, man. You went to a big old tournament, kept your head in the game, played the missions, didn't quit. You know, in so many tournaments now, you got all these people that are just there for the win,
Ready to drop out.
Yeah, completely ready to drop, and we are great opponents to that. So you're holding it down, man. Don't sell yourself short.
All right, here's what it
Let
says.
us know.
If this power is successfully manifest, the Psyker is immediately removed as a casualty. If the Psyker was part of a unit, Brotherhood of Psykers, Sorcerers, Special Rule, remove the entire unit as casualties. If when using this power, the Psyker fails his Psyche test, he automatically suffers Perils of War. Well, he's not going to fail it because he can automatically manifest it per the Blue Scribe's ability.
Sure.
And then if you go to Psykers... Resolve in Psyche phase. It says power Psyker will have. Okay, for purposes of all rules, the term Psyker and Psyker unit refers to any unit with the Psyker, Psychic Pilot, or Brotherhood of Sorcerers special rules. So technically, he's not a Psyker, but he can manifest it for free. So.
Okay,
But Psykers can
So
manifest power.
I got you here.
Power itself.
Page 43. Page 43 of the Warhammer FAQ says the Blue Scribe is not a Psyker for the purpose of any special rule that targets a Psyker. So if the demonic possession targets a Psyker who manifested or has anything to do with him and it labels him as a Psyker, he can't manifest that power.
He can't manifest it? Are you sure?
He can't manifest anything
all right.
that targets a Psyker.
Just go to the power. All right, do I need to pull it up? Or is it just
I
go
just
to the
read
power?
it.
I know. Let's read it one more time. Now we know all the facts.
You have to be a Psyker. Have to
Okay.
be a Psyker to possession.
Yes.
So
You know, it's a blessing that targets the Psyker. He can't do it. He's not a Psyker.
Can't do it. There you go.
Unfortunately. So that means
Yeah,
he's
according to
actually really limited. He's actually really limited. There's a lot of things he cannot do. He can't. He essentially, he can't do Iron Arm.
Can't do a unit.
Yeah.
It's
So-
really they'll probably just rework his wording and
I mean,
Next
don't get me
person.
wrong. If we ever discover that you can put him in a building and he can just churn out bloodthirsters all day long, then I'm fine with that.
And he also can't do the Primus, so he can't ever do the summoning, which sucks. So he is not good.
You know, David's coming in saying the head of the champion at the back of Glocken is really nice. I agree, man. Both those. I mean, again, I just want to point out there's so much going on in that cool model. I did not even notice there were two people on the top of him, and I'm pumped to start seeing some bits appear for those guys.
Got the eBay looking right now.
I did actually check today, and I didn't find any.
Did somebody say that not Chris Morgan, that Gardner was making bacon food? Is that what you guys were saying?
Yeah, that's he is a bacon wrapped items chef.
Yeah, because I was looking up that FAQ and I was like, yo, who's talking about bacon right now? Why do I want bacon all of a sudden?
Yeah, subliminal Chris Gardner thoughts right now. He tapped into our minds. Shane wants to know. So we're talking instead of talking about list, he wants to know what do we think about Wolfguard on bikes? Are they or are they not the truth?
I've known a lot of people who try to make that work, and when I say tried, as in they failed.
There it is.
What was the first part of that question? I apologize, Juice.
He just wanted to know, instead of necessarily talking about a list, what do we think about the Wolfguard on bikes?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. No, they're never good. Yeah.
They are not the truth.
They're not the truth. Yep. I mean, unfortunately, some of these things are just okay. This is what we run into. That's what we have problems with like list building sometimes, is that we want them to be good. Like the game has wanted bikes to be awesome for years, and up until the point where this most recent Space Marine Codex, was it 40 years in the 40K or whatever? The bikes have been terrible.
And dreadnoughts.
Yeah, up into this. Yeah, and dreadnoughts. Yeah.
Two staples of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, have always been just crap. And people love bikes. Like, you could always, like, being like a trader of figures and stuff, bikes always had value. Like, you could have picked up, like, Fire Warriors for 25 cents on the dollar or whatever, but you've always been able to sell and buy bikes, at basically retail for the most, or, whatever the going rate was. Because people love them. This very moment, they've not been good, and they're only good when you have hit and run and super characters in them.
Yeah. No matter
Yep.
what color they're painted, they're always white.
Yeah,
Underneath, they're always white cards underneath.
and then in Space Wolves, that leads to my point on list design or whatever. So in Space Wolves, you've got things that are better than the bikes for not that many more points. So the points you get into points to effectiveness, you run into the fact that you just need to be taking Thunder Wolves or Forensian Wolves.
Man, hot off the presses, I'm sorry to interrupt this, but Sean Bailey, I just want to let everybody know we have the best 40K player crew/team members ever with all the people watching. And Sean Bailey just demolished his local BAO style tournament, 4-rounder, one day, took home the prize. Good job, Sean.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
That's really good. I mean, hearing that stuff, especially, and tell us about your successes. I mean, if you guys, don't want to, I guess type it out here or whatever, or hit us on the Facebook message. Let us know what you work, because we get inspiration from people's lists all the time, and a lot of the things that we're going to talk about come from listeners. Like, we actually got an email, a question in I want to say email or message a couple days ago asking about how they would start a tournament scene in their area that just doesn't exist. There's no scene for organized play, and that's we're going to make that one of the subjects of the next podcast. So that kind of stuff, anytime we hear about it, please keep it coming. It's awesome.
Yeah, and even if you don't take first, let's say you take last, just tell me that. I will embellish it and make you sound like the best 40K player.
That's right.
He was the first person to come in last.
Yeah, nobody else did it. You were the best looking guy in the room, first off. We're good.
We have a very special winner.
That's right.
That used to be our favorite award. The first tournament I ever ran, I ran the Mike Haspel Award of Excellence. That was last place.
Yes. We're keeping it classic. That's what we do.
Best sport, worst general. Solo Falcon's asking, so aren't grand tournaments usually big events? And yeah, grand tournament means a lot of different things to different people. And I want to say that, yes, but grand tournament to me is a 100-plus person event, but that's just not a reality all the time. So, I mean, really what a big tournament now is a multi-day, multi-event.
Yes.
Yeah, I think GT, and especially since GW backed out of the tournament circuit, let's say, I think GT gets thrown around a lot, and I think it's fine. As we can look at the tournament attendance across the board this year, it's been tough to get 100 people in a room. So yeah, I mean, the days of because so many people are doing more events, the Michigan GT, things are just popping up everywhere. So which is awesome. So, but who knows? Maybe the days of having multiple hundreds or 150 people per event might be, by the wayside until everybody figures out, where they want to play.
Yeah, and especially, the format is what it is, and it's people right now, and it's the economy has a lot to do with it too. People are really being cautious with their dollars and their time, and I don't blame them. But it's one of those things. It will come back. The tournament scene will come back. I'm really interested to see how the game evolves over the next couple of years or so. I know I'm going to be hitting more tournaments than I did this year, next year. And it's not because this life kept me away from some of these, but I'll make sure that it doesn't happen as often next time.
I totally sympathize with you. I'm gonna try to focus really hard on the local scene next year. Try to nurture that because I think that growth and rebuilding needs to start in the hometowns.
Yes. No, I completely agree, and I think this should go out. Kenny, man, I couldn't agree with that even more, man. Like, it just almost took my breath away. Like, I can't stand listening to some people. They talk about going to these big events, but they're not down to support their local guys. They're not down to go to their local tournaments on Saturday. Maybe you can't make every month, but man, you got to get out and support your local area.
Yeah,
better build.
Do something really nice for the wife, so she let you out.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Like, I went to a tournament over the weekend, and it was a great event. They had a lot of people that they normally get, but then when I thought about where I was really surprised I didn't see some people too. So it was very surprising for me, just to not see as many people as I thought I was going to be, just based on the geographical location, I guess.
Let me get us back on kind of the positive thing is, like, even a three-round tournament takes a little bit of focus. A 5-round tournament takes more than just double a 3-round tournament, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, you got 2 days. It's 2 days right out the gate.
Yeah, so even if it's a lower number of people, yeah, your chances go from 1 in 160 to 130, which sounds like better odds, but you still got to be laser focused.
Mm.
And being laser focused is tough too. Like even depending on where the venue is. Like say, we all played at Feast of Blades last year at the Hyatt. Really nice carpeted floors, really nice venue. But then some of these places you go to, some events throughout the year, it might be a concrete floor, and you stand on that thing for 6-7 hours a day. It starts to wear on you. Like there's all these factors.
Yeah, playing well and winning a tournament, you gotta dial it in, no matter how many people are there.
Practice. You gotta practice not only your skills but your tournament endurance. Like that's a really good point.
Playing fast. You
gotta learn how to stand on a concrete floor for 6 hours.
And not let the environmental factors.
Yeah.
Don't let the number of people at the event doesn't necessarily have to cheapen the event. One of the grand tournaments that I won, this has been 100 years ago at this point or whatever, but there were only, I want to say 50 or 60 people there, but out of the 5 games, I played 4 previous grand tournament winners.
Great.
That's serious business. I find that, especially when thing is, like what I said, the backtrack just a second, like rebuilding, restructuring, recovery happens in the local scene. I know that Paul has this in his local scene. He's got a lot of great up-and-comers now because he's been there keeping his head down, pounding the pavement, like helping build a scene out there. And he can go to a 3-round tournament and play 2 people, and there's only 12 people there, but these 2 people are really good now.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Very true.
So I mean, that's the kind of like if you communities, you bring them up, support them, work together, have your game time on the weekends, even if there's no tournament, you're going to build a solid crew that's going to be able to branch out, build their own crews. It's the way of the world. It's just that you gotta stay positive with it. Like the fact that numbers are down at the GTs, it's like Paul said, man, that's economy, man. Like you can't get for $20, which even though they charge $100 for these models, it might as well be $1 billion to some people. It's an infinity price tag. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be that way.
It's $1 billion to me.
It is. Yeah. It might as well.
I honestly could see
turnout. It's going to be cool because we're going to talk about it in the next podcast about how maybe we would think about building up a scene.
All right, so coming back full circle, Fallen Cypher wants to know, what about Grav Command Squad bikes? I know we talked a couple minutes ago saying that bikes were dead, shot their white cars.
Yeah.
Do what?
It's my list, man.
Yeah, I'd still run it that way. That's what we ran for White Scars, in our Super Friends list was the Command Squad with Gravs. And I know Kenny's had a lot of success with Melta, and that's not a bad choice anymore.
I came back to the Grav, though.
Yeah, I'd still go Grav.
Hold on, I want to say, what about the Grav Command Squad bikes that isn't White Scars? Is this acceptable?
Man, I don't think so.
They don't do anything without scouting. You need to be able to you need con to unlock scout so they can move 12 inches, then move 12 inches to extend to their 18-inch range, because it's really easy, even with a 12-inch movement and an 18-inch range, to completely mitigate that on turn 1 with a little bit of pre-measuring. So you really need that scout to really get in people's face on turn 1, and it starts comboing.
Yeah.
Like with Auspex. Like now you have a guy in there with Auspex. Now you have extended your range. Now you roll up and you download these shots, and they go into cover saves, and they can never get out of your range. Like, you definitely need to just break down and play with White Scars.
Anything else you do that tries to get them that good, you're spending your points inefficiently. So that's kind of all we're talking about, is that it is more fun to play and playing with an Iron Hands or whatever, or even if you're playing Imperial Fist to get those cool Devastator squads. To make your bikes work, you're going to be spending more points than if you just made them White Scars.
Okay.
I don't know if did I make any sense there? I tried.
No, yeah. No, I agree with that. I just, if somebody didn't want to go down the White Scars route, what is there options? But your guys are saying hands down, White Scars is the best.
It is okay. I don't want to say there's no options. I'm just saying that it just becomes less and less efficient. So just know what you're in for. Like, know where your inefficiencies are. Like, if you really want to take an honor guard and you spin up all weekend painting them and you want to play with them, then just know that those honor guard on foot are not going to be all that awesome on the table. You may be able to position them to do something awesome, but over the course of like 10 games, you're probably not going to get your points out of them every time. So just be prepared, and you always have fun, knowing exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I actually was thinking that same way with, because I've been jonesing to play with a Broodlord and some Gene Stealers, right? Like it's taken over my body, but I just have to know that I have to overcome this massive deficit already with the book being what it is. Now all of a sudden I'm playing with a unit that is definitely overcosted for what it does.
do they get that cool psychic ability anymore? Is it a negative leadership or something?
No, minus 2 or something to weapon skill. No, I to be honest, I don't know what they have.
I thought the Broodlord had like some cool psychic ability that you could infiltrate, like pop off like 3 or 4 on turn.
They did. It was a leadership in the assault phase, and you could pair that with the Doom before you could have, and it stacks, so you can infiltrate like 3 Broodlords, minus the leadership by 3. Shadows of the Warp. Now all of a sudden you're taking 3d6, with base leadership of 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
But heard that's not a thing.
Yeah. Now we can use those sweet baseball models.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, right. Rob's right. Rob's on that tip.
That's we just have Legion of the Damned now.
I respect that.
It's just what it is. Speaking of the Damned, I'm thinking about the Lost and the Damned all week. How about you, Paul?
Yeah, man. I was even thinking about bringing back the Rhino Wall behind, to support these zombies.
Oh,
I have
the zombies.
I know.
Ooh. Hey, I got one too.
I know. It's such a good. It's like the best thing that's come out for Chaos in such a long time.
It really is. Like there's so much sweet.
Yeah, dude. It makes me want to drive home more than ever to people. Like, let me just play with my rules. Let me just play with my damn rules.
There's no okay. Now I found this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. This is more directed to you because you can correct me.
I'll try.
The platoon, the Renegade platoon.
Yeah.
I don't see anything in there that says that they can mob up.
Oh, you mean just the normal trooper guys?
Yeah, the Renegade
troop
platoon. I don't see anything in there. I mean, it says you still buy them in squads of 3 to 5 or whatever, but I don't. And then one of them gets upgraded to the Demagogue, but I don't see anything in there that specifically says you could join them all together.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I don't see a special rule because that's a special rule in the AM Codex.
It's a special rule normally in the Codex AM.
So we should compare the wording between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check that here in a sec.
I'll bring that up, Rob, so you're not having to go all over every book.
So like everyone all my new lists I've been building, Paul, I've been thinking about just like that. The 3 or 4 thug guns and 50 zombies, man, every time.
Something that I was impressed with, we talked about this a little bit on the podcast, but the squad sizes have increased. So you get 4 thud guns basically for the price of 3.
From the old days.
Yeah, the old days being the still legal Imperial Guard.
from those sucker MCs Codex.
Right.
Man, that is so good though to think that you can get 50 zombies with a 4-up feel no pain and 4 thud guns. I mean, what is that going to...
300 points.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to go with. Like, what is that? Less than... I was going to say 400, so it's less than 300 points. And that is...
Well, if you buy the Command Squad, you're looking at closer to that 400, but yeah, you're not wrong.
325 points on the dot for 4 thud guns, 50 zombies, and the squad that unlocks your zombies.
That is BANANANANS. Yeah.
Thing is, I love this. Thing is... I really feel like this shines because I want to play the Lost and the Damned with demons and chaos.
Yeah.
So all my best lists are that, but I have to hold back. Like when you're into a new relationship with somebody and you don't know how much emotion you want to pour into it because you've been hurt so many times before.
Wait, are we talking about 40K?
That's how I feel about this right now. Like. I catch myself spending 3 hours a day, like thinking about fantasizing about these amazing lists. That I'm like, man, but if somebody says I can only have 2 sources, oh man, I don't know if I'm ready. Because the first time you left me, the hurt was so much, The
first time you said I couldn't play with my Forge World, I was sad, and now I want to play.
Man, I'm having a little personal crisis over here because I can't find the mobbed up rule here.
I know. I was starting to freak out too.
In the Militarum Codex.
I was like, uh-oh. And then I remembered it's not a 7th edition codex, so I'm looking in the unit entries.
Oh, Combined Squad. Okay, I found it. Combined Squad.
What page?
It is on page 37.
Oh, same page I'm on. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, cool.
I was starting to get jittery. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it's not in the unit entry.
Yeah, I don't see anything in that Renegade Squad that says they can get together, and it
might be in the front.
It's a bit of a problem. Yeah, it could be.
It's not just taking zombies.
Yeah, you can get around it by taking zombies, and then just like one of those other little cheap 30-man things or whatever.
I'm just taking it as an ally, so just the zombies and then.
Well, I think that when I run it, I'm going to want probably a squad of Thud Guns and a squad of Wyverns.
That's good. I heard that's good.
Yeah, five Wyverns. Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, I own 4, and I was kind of like, man, am I ever going to really need 4? And then I'm like, so glad I got those 4.
Not only that, I need one more.
Right, I need another one. I need to pick up another Wyvern and trade.
I got really sad because I went over to my shelf the other day, you know, those Manticores. I was like, I'm finally going to pull these out. No.
Nope. Stupid tanks.
Yeah, there's no entry for them in this Lost in the Dam.
I saw that too, no Manticore.
I was very just chaotic.
So Peter Lawson is saying, like I said last week, guys, that Convent of Zinch does work. The Demagogue confers it to 70 points. 3 Renegade Raptors for some ballistic skill, 2 Twin-Link Laser Destructors against Flyers and Invisible Dudes.
Yeah, Laser Destructor is no joke. That's a very, very potent weapon.
Is that the Ordnance Strike 9 AP1?
It is on the Spartan tank. I don't know. On the Rapier, it's a little different. I'll grab it.
Yeah, Stoner Steve's saying the Legacies of Ruin on a Warhound could be really nice. And yeah, those Legacies, they're better than I thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are very flavorful.
There's a tournament out there that put a restriction on what Legacies you can take, too. I was kind of sad.
Interesting. How you build a list in this book is, I don't want to say it's complicated because I haven't really sat down and...
It's not complicated until you have to consider what people are allowing and not allowing.
Well, yeah, I'm talking if you sit down and build one out of this book, because you get there's all these modifiers that you can apply to your commander that change the scope of the list.
Yeah, there's like 10 different lists you can run here just based on what you take on your like Demagogue and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's all those extra abilities you can play. You know, like the Master of the Horde, and then I don't see any reason if you're taking a couple of infantry platoons. Although it seems weird, it's like they can't, because it says that an infantry platoon consisting of 15 or more models. Like I don't even really know. Like I don't know. It just takes. I feel like I'm missing something.
Could just be an oversight. They forgot to cut and paste combined squads. I mean,
it's possible. I could just be missing something. I hope that I am because that. I want a big old 50-man one of those.
It's possible today, and I'm gonna check the Vrax entry because they could have just cut and pasted it out of there and left something out on accident.
The sigil, the Chaos Sigil, which we didn't talk about specifically, lets you auto-pass a leadership test. So that gets around.
Pretty decent too.
What'd you say?
The Banner of Hate. All infantry units from the same primary detachment with one or more models within 12 inches must roll 3d6 for morale checks and pinning, and must choose the 2 lower results.
Dude, I'm getting so into the Lost in the Dam flavor because remember you used to attach little aspiring champions to your mutant squads,
and
these guys are
really cool in chaos armor, and they're.
Oh yeah, and remember your battle brothers are chaos space marines. So kind of thinking that I want to bring Huron Blackheart back for this.
Just so outflank.
He lets you infiltrate D3 non-vehicle units.
Yeah, but that also gives you outflank, right? Or is he a scout?
It's infiltrate.
I thought he could outflank too. Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
You're probably right. You played with him recently, and I have not. Chris Morgan.
I like it because now.
Sorry, Chris Morgan is saying that fate is demanding you and I face off, Kenny. We do have that tiebreaker.
Face off, as in switch our faces,
as in,
like the
take
movie,
my face
Oh,
I'm literally gonna take my face off, and you're gonna wear it.
And we're gonna look this. No one's gonna be able to tell us apart.
Yep.
which one of you are Nicolas Cage?
That's right.
Who knows? Both of us are Nicolas Cage. You never
That
gonna
dude
know
had
which one's
awesome
gonna be.
guns. I wanted that dude's guns out of that movie.
Oh yes,
Or whatever. I wanted his pistols. I mean, I was like 13 when the movie came out.
best rendition of "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." I want you to know during a fight scene, perfect song ever.
Dude, if we do a face off and then take our shirts off, we are identical.
Yeah, I agree.
Pants off, dance off. Is that what you guys
Nope.
just?
Hey, everybody's a winner.
They will be able to tell us apart if we take our pants off.
But yeah, I'm hoping we on a live cast soon. Sooner than later. Hopefully before the end of the year. Have to, depending on what Kenny's schedule is. If Juice can make it down, he'll be a good Kenny proxy.
Yeah,
Yes.
at the very least, I mean, we all know we're gonna be where we're gonna be in February. We're all gonna be up in Durham for the Hosty Blade. I mean, the Forza Narrative seasonal.
We'll get it eventually.
All of those are correct.
Yes. So many good three-letter and abbreviated tournament names and organizations out there.
Yeah, this BC's asking about the Blood Angels versus Nid campaign. I do really hope that they kind of advance the Blood Angel fluff a little bit, if only to rewrite that whole Necron alliance and then Dante agreeing to wipe the minds of the Blood Angels involved or whatever. That really makes me sick to my stomach a little bit. So I welcome a Blood Angels versus Nids campaign where the Necrons are eradicated. I don't know, whatever, something not.
We can just eradicate this scum.
Yeah, well, it's
Aggro.
you remember from the year we won the team tournament, our display board was the Blood Angels fighting Chaos and Tyranids. That was the display board because that's the story from the fluff. We got where Dante calls back all the chapters of the Blood Angels, including the ones that supposedly had gone traitor to fight this menace.
See, leave it to the good guy Nids to bring everybody in the universe together.
That's right. You're actually a uniter.
Yeah.
Not a divider.
Why are we even talking about this? Like, yeah, where would the universe be without us?
Yeah.
So speaking of the universe and how it divides, Lewis M wants to know. So hey guys, did you know that there used to be a Forging the Narrative podcast out of the UK?
Actually, out of Australia.
Australia.
Believe it, they don't let me forget.
Yeah, we know.
I hope those guys are doing well. I mean, they're one of the biggest sources of our fans from Australia.
Yep. Every time somebody thinks they're doing them and they Google us, hey. And vice versa. It's a joint effort.
It is. The sun never sets on Forza Narrative.
Nope.
So I can't seem to find the laser destroyer array in this book, or the rapier laser destroyer.
It lets you re-roll. Well, I mean, it was basically ordnance. Kenny had it right.
Yeah, it's artillery.
Yeah, it was ordnance last cannon, so it was.
Well,
You had to re-roll.
I think it's actually AP1. I think.
Yeah,
I don't remember it. I mean, you may be right.
The laser destroyer. These are the weapons on the sides of Land Raiders and Sicarans and things. But this isn't the laser destroyer array. It's a different thing. It's artillery.
I do hope we see multiple Lords of War for the Blood Angels. Like, I immediately want to see. People were saying like this whole Death Company Tycho supplement is a joke, and yes, I understand that. Yeah, they're going to have a supplement. Yes, probably not having 2 Tycho supplements, but I could definitely see 1 Tycho supplement with Death Company.
I'm all about some Death Company supplements.
Yeah, and if Tycho wasn't so pigeonholed into the way his model is modeled, like with the
bolter
combi melta and and that's
and
it.
Nothing else.
Yeah, right.
And just holding his belt. Take that belt off and just beat you down.
But
That's literally what he has: a power belt and a combi melta.
But he is a cool model. He's got an Iron Halo. And he's a cool model, but one of the neatest stories is him rising as is the Death Company there on Armageddon? I don't know.
Armageddon, the movie with Bruce Willis, or
I think it was the third War of Armageddon.
Okay, I was gonna say I think he was the one.
They made 3 Armageddon movies.
Yeah, I think he was the one that stayed on the comment in the first one.
Yeah,
That's right.
So speaking of, and I just was gonna shout out Rob. I'm gonna do it anyway, even though he's not sitting in his chair. This is the ghost of Rob that will receive this. Robert is saying thanks for showing up to Mechanicon, and our very own Robbie B took 7th place. He conceded 1st place to whoever took it.
A lot of good players at that event from people that are
actually Austin. I think Austin won the tournament. The first winner.
That's right. Oh, our boy Austin, winning all the tournaments he gets in.
A lot of local people in there. It was nice to see them on camera. I'm glad we're able to have some representation trying out that new technology we're rocking with this mobile tournament coverage device.
Yep. And as long as everything goes good, it looks like we will be doing the same thing for the 11th Company GT with myself and potentially Rob as well.
It's an evolving process. I know that we were unable to get a lot of hosting in the last one. It's just, it's hard to line up all our dates, and we're going to get better at it. We're going to continue to improve.
Well, I think it's better to have the coverage, even if we can't be talking over it and commentating, than not having it.
Agreed. Agreed. I tried. I rolled out of bed with my tiny little dog, and I tried to get on there. I was on my phone.
We're most likely, and what I would like to see in those situations that we can't actually be there talking is that we pull them down, time lapse them, and do commenting over it after the fact. That's what I'd like to see. But
Mystery Science Theater 3000 style,
something like that. But we're getting there. We're improving this as we go along. And I'm really, man, I can't say enough how much I thank everybody for joining us on this journey. It's really been nice kind of growing this community.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys are so much of a part of it. Like, you let us know if our camera's messing up. You let us know, like, you make us better.
Yeah.
Here is Robbie B. We've just been talking about you for 5 minutes while you were gone.
Yeah, I was trying to find that rule for Laser Destroyer. It's kind of vexing me.
That rule is dead to us now. We were talking about how good you did at Mechanicon, and Robert gave you a shout-out. Thank you for coming.
And somebody's mentioned how awesome Tycho is. Yeah, the first best miniature I ever painted was the Tycho model. I sat down and I just painted the crap out of him. Still got him right here somewhere. The original one.
I've painted about 4 of those guys, and every time I'm just thinking about that belt every time.
The foreigner belt.
Yeah, like David just says that it gives you all the powers of 80s rock sensation.
Hey, Jukebox Hero is a good song, man.
Christopher Morgan is saying he is definitely expecting the Flesh Terror supplement. Christopher Morgan, I want you to know that my first Death Watch, one of my first characters that I played in the role-playing aspect of it, was a Flesh Terror. A Space Marine or whatever it is.
It's not a Tyranid.
It is not.
Yep.
It is hard to roll.
Well, guys, man, it's been a fast hour.
We're done.
We made it through it. Yeah.
I've been. I'll think before I go. I've been working on Project Mayhem all day, and it's hard, and I hate it right now.
It is.
I'm just dropping these Easter eggs because people, as I get closer to the.
Does anyone else have anything to add before we get out of here?
I won this weekend.
Congratulations.
At the Mechanicon GT.
Hey man, that's pretty cool. That's what you get at big tournaments. Is you get awards all the way deep in the stack.
I was the Quizmaster.
Oh.
Ooh.
Sorry, I take back everything I just said.
The Quizette Hatterack?
I was the Quizette Hatterack. No, actually, I won their pub quiz. Had the high score. I don't know it all, but I know a little bit about a lot.
Hey, you were the best one there.
You don't answer questions, but when you do, you win trophies.
All right, guys, it's 11 o'clock. Thank y'all for joining me. We're going to be recording the podcast on Wednesday, so anybody got anything they want to hit us up on Twitter, or Master_TPM, and everybody else see Cat Daddy and Juice_55.
Get juiced at AOL.com.
Yeah, so I mean,
Zero.
Or the Facebook. If you have Army List questions, or just like you just want to say, hey man, I came up with this cool Army List, hit us on Facebook. That's we try to check those as much as possible. Although I know we've been slow recently, there's just been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, life has been Life has
everybody,
been going.
It's true.
yeah, again, thank y'all so much for coming in and joining us. Void Race Prime says, y'all, you're as cold as ice. Thanks for
Love it.
Thank you all, everybody. Good night.
Good night,
All right,
guys.
everybody.